I'm studying web storage, session storage, and local storage. And I'm creating a little digital notebook for my little studying. I'll show you my digital notebook. I did a recording already and something happened to it, so now I gotta try it again. Here's my digital notebook here. What I did on the first page is I tested this web storage demo that I found online, and I had it open in Opera, Google Chrome, and Firefox, which you see the red background is Opera, the white background is Google Chrome, and the orange background is Firefox. So I tested it, and it worked in all three. As far as when I made changes to the background and the font and the image, it made changes, and every time I closed the browser and went back, the particular colors and styles and images stayed in storage. What it didn't do was there's a page that's supposed to show my changes that I made, not just the visual that you can see, but in another page it was supposed to tell me that my background color changed from FF0831 to FFFFF, or that I changed from sans serif to monospace or serif, or that I changed from the crocodile to the tortoise or to the Firefox. It did not do that part. Now, what I've got is I've got this first link that takes me to this page. And when this page opens in a new tab, in my home page here, what it should do in a minute is it should start reading right here. I'm going to pause it. I read this web page, which isn't really too long, but I want to think it was like, I don't know, 17 minutes worth of reading. Basic concepts, testing for support versus availability, and here the simple example. This is the example that I'm using in my learning experience. So we have this initial page where you can choose the background color, the font style, and the image. And then we have this secondary page called the event output. Well, what they're advertising here is that you have key background color, old value 0A12FF, new value 7912FF. Then it's got an URL. In this scenario, it says http / mdn.github.io / web storage demo, storage area object storage. My event output screen here does not give me any of those output information. So there's something wrong with this particular page and this particular the JavaScript that goes with this page. But after you look at this, these demos right here, the two pages, the web storage page and the event output page, right down here it says, as well as viewing the example pages using the above links, you can also check out the source code, which is what I did. I clicked this and I got a zip file. I right-clicked my zip file, saved it on my desktop, right-clicked it, extracted everything so that I could take a look at the files and study it myself. So I'm going to get out of there. The local storage demo, if I click on here, it directly links me to the demo itself. So I can show you, this is how it works when you're using the JavaScript that creates this color picker, which is really cool because you can slide this color picker around and it changes the background instantly. And it changes the number right here, lets you know the number letter combination that gives us that color. Then the font style has sans serif, serif, and monospace. So you can see as I change these, as I go up on my mouse button after I click it, it changes the font here. And then choose image. We've got three images that they have incorporated. Something called a Firefox, a crocodile, and a tortoise. Now, if I save this, it's got a purple background and a tortoise. And the font style is sans serif. If I go away from that page, I'm out of that page. Plus, all of this is opening in an iframe, and the fact that it's working, entering my iframe is very nice. If I go back to local storage demo, we still have the tortoise with a purple background. Let me change the background to something else. Change it to a green. Make it a light green because you have a slider here that gives you the light or the dark of the color. And instead of a tortoise, let's turn it into the Firefox. Okay, move away to a different page, go back to the demo, and it has definitely saved my changes. The only thing it does not do is when I go, you can also see the storage event output. When I go there, key, old value, new value, URL, and storage area. It's not giving me any of that pertinent information. And then go back to the main page, takes me back to the page where I incorporated my changes. So I have index.html where when I downloaded their zip file, it gave me this. It gave me local storage demo. When I open up that, I have a style.css, a readme file, a main.js for the JavaScript, index.txt, index.html. Actually, I think I saved this index.txt. I don't believe that I need that. I don't need that one. It didn't give me the text file. It just gave me the HTML, two HTML web pages, event.html and index.html, two JavaScripts, event.javascript and main.javascript. This readme file that tells me, well, if I click on it, okay, it won't let me open it that way, but if I right click and hit edit with notepad, I can read it. Web storage demo, a simple demo to use to show usage of the web storage API. For more details on how it works, read using the web storage API. And then they give us this developer.mozilla.org link and view the demo online, this http :/mdm.github.io/web/storage/demo/. This address is what I put here so that I can just look at it in my iframe, in my own little thing that I've created here, my little digital notebook. And this is the developer.mozilla.org that teaches me all about it and shows that. Get back out of there. But index.html, I wanted to practice typing code. So I have a text area that's disabled here on the right that has the code to their index.html, and I actually can copy it. I'm not the fastest typer in the world right now, but yeah, it gives me practice typing code. And then I just go down a little further as I need to go down, and same thing with this one. I just move down as I need to move down. And I did that for all the pages. I have index.html, I have event.html, there's the event page, and here's the style.css page, which I can change however I want to change it, if I want to change the style, but this is the styles that they gave for the demo example. Then I got the main JavaScript, so I can practice coding the JavaScript that makes it all happen. That's for the main. And then here's the event JavaScript. So this is where I'm not getting my information on the second screen. So I'm not sure what it is that's wrong with this, but I don't know if it's a simple typo or a major typo, whatever the case is. I copied and pasted it from their zip file, so it's nothing I did wrong. I just don't know how to fix this. The free color picker, if I want to use the color picker, you download this zip file, and what I got in that case was, when I got it from their site, they had it already incorporated in in this local storage demo zip file, when you open it up, they already had it here, JS Color, but you could get the updated version. This is the latest release, JS Color 2.0.4. You can download the zip file and you'll end up getting this folder that has a few things going on, and it's got a demo.html, and then they've got a really long JavaScript that makes the demo work. If I double click this demo, all it does is, this is all it's doing. It gives you a little place to click, and then you got this ability to grab a color and get the number letter combination that creates that color. And the slider right here gives us the lighter or the darker versions of that color. So it's a pretty cool little thing to use in your pages if you want. Also, if you're designing your web pages and you want to use different colors, something other than your standard red, green, blue, etc., etc., you use this color picker and you can get nice, pretty shades and implement different types of shades of colors for your web designs. So I liked that. The color picker.html has in this JS Color, two main things: your demo HTML page, which is this simple. It's lovely. It's how simple. That's all you need to create. If I click this again, all it does is have click here and a place for you to click inside. The code for that is this: HTML head, title, JS Color demo, end head, body, then this script link, and then the words click here, and then this input class color value equals, that's value is auto default. It changes when you click inside, end body, end HTML. So really, really simple. The kicker is this long JS color.javascript. And I'll show you how long it is. It is 995 lines of code. Lots of if conditions, lots of switches, lots of functions, and yeah, a lot of stuff going on there. So if you just download that and just stick it in your folder that has your web pages, you're good to go to be able to use it. It's free. It advertises it that's free for anybody to use, so it's a nice little option. So then what else did I miss? Oh, yeah, this is the HTML for the color picker. It's a web page, and then here is that really long JavaScript that I showed you. If I wanted to practice the JavaScript and how to create that particular color picker, might find an easier color picker code online. I'm not sure, but I wasn't actually looking for color picker code. This just happened to come with the demo. So that's everything that I've got in my little digital notebook so far, but I will put another navigation item down here, because what didn't work, what did not work with the demo, local storage demo. Remember, it held my changes, but when I wanted to go to that secondary page, it didn't show me how the values changed. Now I found something different, found a different code from a totally different site. Let me get out of my digital notebook. Let me get out of that demo. And I wanted to try to make this my version of the same thing we just looked at. So I have a new folder with a new set, and demo.html is what I open, but I'll show you this page right here that says great.html. This is the code that actually works to show my local session, my local storage that is saved on the browser. Let me double click the demo. This is, like I said, my version. I haven't done a lot of changes to it. I gave myself some notes. So I changed some of the wording inside here. This I say, here is a good link for more information. And if you click it, what I want to do is I want this tizen.org to open up in a new tab. So I have to hit target equals underscore blank. I didn't do that, so it's opening right over top, and I don't want that. But this Tizen developers, developer.tizen.org is where I found more information about local storage and another demo. And the demo here is right down here. It says source code. For the complete source code related to this use case, see the following file. And so you click this link right here and it takes you to index of this stuff, and under parent directory you click this local storage session and you get this page, which is really cool. You right click this page, view page source, and you get the code to it. So then if you control A to highlight, control C, and then open up your Notepad++, and then control V, you can get all the code and see how this works, because it does work pretty cool. Now I already did that and saved it in this file called great.html. And as soon as I save it as an HTML file in Notepad++, I get the colorization. Now, let me get out of here. This actually does what the second red page was supposed to do. So when I open up my demo.html, I'm going to link to great.html, and you're going to see what happens. Here's my page where I said the tizen.org link, and I wrote myself this note that says tizen.org link gives source code with text areas and buttons that save both local and session storage with a clean, simple interface. Here is that actual page. And so when I click it, again, I've linked to the page itself. Watch what happens. This is the page. Let me make this smaller and let me rip this page off so we can see these two things side by side. Let me come down here, right click it, and show window side by side. I don't really need this. Minimize this. Let me right click again, show window side by side. Alright. I'm going to change my background color to something else. Now I don't have the color picker folder in this folder that I called my version of web storage, but all I have to do is move it to this folder or copy and paste it, and then when I click inside here I'll have the color picker. But even without having the color picker, if I type in some numbers and then click outside here, or I type some numbers and hit the enter, it actually changes my color back here. So if I 567456, I just magically come up with a different number. I have no idea what these numbers mean, but they show a different background color. And I created some different options for font style. Here I've got cursive. You see how that changed? I come down here and go to fantasy. It changed again. Now, right now I have the image steak and kebabs. So if I go down here, these are my own images. Let's say I change it to ducks. Okay, so you see the changes that I've made right here. Well, if I come over here to this web storage tutorial and I refresh this page, this, you see the background color has changed to what I just changed it to, 567456. My font is fantasy. It's actually a list of 3 different possibilities: Papyrus, Curls MT, or Fantasy. And if you don't have Papyrus or Curls MT on your machine, it'll default to Fantasy. It's a generic. And my image is in a folder called Images, and the image name is actually ducks.png. Now, if I change this again, let's change this to, I don't know, 500 876. What color will that give me? Oh, a bright purple. And then let me change from fantasy to cursive. Then let me change my ducks to, I don't know, my tennis rackets. Come over here, refresh this, and there's my new background color, 500876, matches. My font style, brush script STD, second choice Lucida calligraphy, third choice cursive. My image is tennis, and if you look under images, you see the folder called images, and the actual picture is tennis.png. So this code in this page is saving my changes from this page, and that is what this page was supposed to do. But the code for this page is not working, so I need to take the code from this page and see about putting it in this page, or linking to this page so that my information pops up here. So that shouldn't be too hard. I just haven't done it yet. I'm going to look at the code for this page because I think it's, now that I see that it's functioning, I want to save it, I want to remember it, I want to learn it. Besides showing me what changes I made from this page, I can go in here and create my own storage key and value. So I could say storage key R. What do I want the value of R to be? Let's say I want it to be red, and I hit save. Now all of a sudden, under both local storage data and session storage data, I have a key, R:red. R:red. I can create another one. I could say electric is the key, and let's say that my electric bill is $200. That's the value. Let's just say, and then hit save, and this actually saves everything in alphabetical order. You see here, this is a B, and then it goes to E, then it goes to F, I, and then R. It's not saving it in the order that I created, it's showing it in alphabetical order. But here's my electric, $200 under local storage data, and here's my electric for $200 in session storage data. If I go out of this page, when I come back to that page, my local storage will show, but my session storage will have disappeared. So let me click this Great Page Example again and pull it off again. And you see there's absolutely nothing under the session storage data, but the R:red key and value pair and the electric $200 key value pair remained intact. It saved it in the local storage data. So again, local storage stays indefinitely. Well, I don't want to say indefinitely because let's see, if I go to my browser and let's see if I go to history and history, what I want to do is clear my history. Clear browsing data. And I want to clear everything from the beginning of time. At this point, I'm thinking, I didn't do this before I made the video, but I'm thinking that this is going to clear even my local session. And let me hit refresh. Well, it actually didn't. It actually did not clear this. Let me actually shut out of this and go back. Okay, so this code actually persisted my local storage data. The only way I can clear all this local storage data is with the function right here that this button clear storage. This will clear everything. So now everything from this browser is cleared. Just clearing the browser history didn't do it, but whatever code is behind this button did do it, did the trick. So if I go here one more time, I have nothing in local storage and nothing in session. Now, one thing that I need to emphasize is that this code saves based on what browser you're saving. So this browser is, where am I? Help. Go to Help, About Google Chrome. So I've been doing all this in Google Chrome. So Google Chrome is saving the purple background with the tennis balls and tennis rackets. So let me go out of this and go out of this. Now let me go back in here, my version, and instead of this opening up in Google Chrome, I'm going to right click my demo, which is my opening page, and I'm going to hit open with, I'm going to do it with Firefox this time. You will see that when we open this in a different browser, it's not going to save Google Chrome's local session, local storage. It's going to save it in it's like it's got its own separate space. See, here we start off with, this is the initial red background, and this is the first image, bales. I don't know if I spelled that right, for bales of hay or whatever that is. I'm going to go to car, and I'm going to change the background color to, let me open this a little. The background color I'll change to black. Let's see, I think, is it 000 that's black? Yeah. And sans serif, I'm going to change to monospace. Now, when I go to the great page example from Tizen and I rip it off, you see that it saves the background color is 000, and the font is Courier Monaco monospace, and the image is images/car.ping. So remember that this is Firefox, okay, with a black background in the car. Let me go back in here and right click this. Actually, I can't open this with Chrome this way because this for some reason doesn't show my Chrome. I mean, not my Chrome, my Opera. So let me open it back here. The only way I can test this in my Opera is to have it open so that my address is there, then manually open Opera with the Opera icon. Okay, waiting. Maybe I'll double click it again. There we go. It's taking forever. Okay, so now we have Opera. I right click in the address bar, paste and search. Wait, did I even copy this? I thought I did. Copy. Right click, copy, right click, paste and go. Your client has issued a malformed or illegal request. Okay, that's because I didn't have it in here right. Right click. There we go. Okay. Now you see in Opera, even though I pasted, even though I pasted this address into here, it didn't give me the same, it didn't save this information. This is a different browser. The different browser is saving a different set of choices. Okay, so if I, in Opera, have this walking trail and this blue background that it saved, and then I click Great Page Example from Tizen, it shows you that the background color is 267. If we go back here, you see the background color for this Opera page is 267. you see the font is Papyrus Curls MT and Fantasy, which that's what the selection is, Fantasy, and the image is images/walkingtrail.ping, and that's what I have as the walking trail. If I make the change to roses, then I go back here and refresh this page, my images have changed to roses, so it saved my changes. And this last name, Jacobson, is some kind of local storage of something that I did when I was in Opera. Because when you look at that here, you see there's totally different local data saved. Opera has this data saved. What did I say this one was? Who is this? I think this is Firefox. And then this would be Google Chrome. If I just click on it, because it's set to a Google Chrome default, that's why you can see this Google Chrome icon. It's the current default. I've got too much going on. What it is my computer is like packed with information. It doesn't have enough space to do what it needs to do. Here we are. Because I cleared, this is taking me to my original page. Change my background color to 44999-1 and cursive and bridge. Then we look at our page example from tizen.org, and there's the background color, there's the cursive, and there's the bridge. So I showed you how this local storage works. I did not show you the code, because if you want to learn the code, you can go to the addresses that I just showed you. But I would like to go over this great HTML that I created from Tizen, because that code actually worked. That actually picked up what I needed to pick up. So we've got this doc type line and this HTML header. Then we've got a heading tag. Then we've got a meta HTTP -equiv, the title that says web storage sample, and then the script goes from there all the way down to there, and that's everything that goes in the head. The script has a variety of functions that are doing the job here. I'm going to go over those functions really quick. The first function we have is function add storage, and that goes from there to there. Function add storage, var key equals document.getElementById by ID, and in parentheses and single quote storage key. Next, var data equals document.getElementById by ID, and in parentheses and single quote storage data. And local storage set item, as you see in green, if local storage in window, local storage.setItem, key.value, comma, data.value, location.reload, else alert, no local storage in window. And then we have the code for the session storage set item. If session storage in window, session storage.setItem, key.value, comma, data.value, location.reload, else alert, no session storage in window. So there's our add storage that does it for both local storage and session storage. The next function is remove storage, and it goes from this red curly brace to this one. So I'm going to highlight the remove storage. And again, we have an if condition that handles the local storage remove item and the session storage remove item. So function remove storage. var key equals document.getElementById by ID, and in parentheses and single quotes remove key. For local storage, we have if local storage in window, and then we ask another question. If local storage.length is greater than 0, then local storage.remove item, and in parentheses key.value, location.reload. Else, alert, no local storage in window. The one for session storage remove item is saying if session storage in window, and it asks another condition, if session storage.length is greater than 0, then session storage.remove item key.value, location.reload. Else, alert, no session storage in window. The next function we'll go over is to clear the storage, and again it's going to show us how we do it with local storage and how we do it with session storage. So that goes from there to there. Function clear storage. If local storage in window, and if local storage.length is greater than 0, then local storage.clear location.reload. Else, alert, no local storage in window. And then for the session storage, we've got if session storage in window, if session storage.length greater than 0, then session storage.clear and location.reload. Else, alert, no session storage in window. And the last little piece that we've got right here says window.onload equals function. And what that does is creates local HTML and sets it to nothing. var local HTML equals, and then nothing in the double quotes. Then var session HTML equals, and again nothing in double quotes. Then we have this note that says local storage key and get item. We have a for loop. This is the local storage key and get item, and this one is for the session storage key and get item. So for the first one, right here, local storage, for var I equals 0, as long as I is less than local storage.length, increment I. Local HTML plus equals li, this is the list item tag, plus local storage.key. Let me just highlight this and not all this stuff all day. For var I equals 0, as long as I is less than local storage.length, increment I. Local HTML plus equals the initial li tag for the list item plus local storage.key with I, with the value of I, plus colon, plus local storage.get item, and then in parentheses local storage.key with a value of I, plus the ending list item tag. Then we have document.getElementById, local storage data, .innerHTML equals local HTML. Now the same thing for our session. For var j, because now we're using a different variable. This one I was dealing with the local storage, and this one is dealing with the session storage. For var j equals 0, as long as j is less than the session storage.length, increment j. Session HTML plus equals, there's our list item tag, plus session storage.key with whatever the value of j is, plus the colon, plus the session storage.get item, and then parentheses session storage.key, and then whatever the value of j is, plus the ending li tag. Lastly, document.getElementById, session storage data, .innerHTML equals session HTML. There's the end of the script and the end of the head. So now all of the action, all of the functions that create the action were created inside the head. Let me show you all of the elements that you physically see are in the body. So if I run this in Firefox so that you could actually see the web page and then have it run side by side with this. Let me put this over here. Whoa, where are you going? Right click and show windows side by side. Here, now we're in the body, we're looking at the actual body elements. The H1 tag with the words web storage tutorial are what you see right there. Then you see the words storage key, which is what you see right here. After that, you see an input type equals text ID equals storage key style equals width 50 pixels. That's what you see right here, this little text box. Next, we have the word value with a colon, which you see right there. And then we have this input type equals text ID equals storage data style equals width 50 pixels. Again, this is this little text box that you type in. After that, we have an input button. Input type equals button, ID equals save, value equals save, and on click equals add storage. That's the one of the functions that I read up here in the head. It was the first one. So when you click this, it's calling that function. Return false. All of these and NBSP semicolons are just giving us spaces in between this button and the next set of words. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces. Then you see the words storage key, which right here. After the word storage key, we have input type equals text, ID equals remove key, style equals width 50 pixels. That's this text box. Then we have a remove button, which is right here. Input type equals button, ID equals remove, value equals remove, and on click equals remove storage function. So now we're going to call the remove storage function when you click that button. Return false. We get 6 more spaces, white spaces, before we get to the words clear storage. And there's the words clear storage, and right after that, of course, we have another button right here. Input type equals button, ID equals clear, value equals clear, on click equals clear storage. So now we're calling that function return false, and then we have a break tag, which means we have 2 break tags actually, which means we're going to go down 2 lines before we see the words local storage data. And here are those words. Under local storage data, we have div with an ID of local storage data. So whenever we hit save, whatever we've created, storage key value pairs here, and hit save, underneath the words local storage data, they're going to show up there. Also, if it creates, this save button also creates session storage data, which that information would show up right here. The break tag makes us go down a line. So we start off, if I clear this data, it would help. Because initially, this is all you see is local storage data and then invisible area underneath, and then session storage data and an invisible area underneath. Session storage data, there's those words. Then you have this, what you can't see underneath, it's a div with the ID of session storage data. So as we hit the save button, let's see if I hit QW and the value is something weird, save, it shows up as local storage data and session storage data. But only local storage data remains after you close your browser. Session storage data, after you close it and come back, this disappears. This will not disappear until you hit the clear button, and this clears actually all the data.